Welcome back to the Raider D podcast. I am the Raider D, your host of the most amazing news information source for your beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Today we're going to be talking about the GM position with the Las Vegas Raiders and why do we not have a GM announced to the Raiders as of yet. We have already hired Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce is already starting to fill his staff, but we still don't have a general manager. Well, I have a theory for that, but before I get to my theory, I want you guys to tell me your theory. Go ahead and get those little magic keyboards working and tell me, who do you think deserves the general manager position? Should it be Champ Kelly? Should it be a guy like Ed Dods? Or maybe you have another favorite in mind. Maybe we bring Bill Belichick.
Say what?
That was a joke. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm also a comedian in my spare time. Nobody actually pays me for it, and nobody laughs at my jokes except for myself, but I think I'm pretty funny.
How about you?
Let me know down in the comments. Do you think I'm funny? Anyway, moving on. Let's get to the theory of the Raider D and what his amazing theory about all of this really is. Well, it's pretty simple. Let's just start from the beginning. Off-season began the second we destroyed the Denver Broncos for the second time this season and every season, pretty much. And it was stated that Mark Davis wanted to hire the GM position first and then let the GM really control the whole hiring the coaching position second. Well, we know the exact opposite happened. We know that Antonio Pierce was hired this last Friday. And that interim tag was taken off of his title. We still don't have a GM though. Well, we do know that Champ Kelly has had 3 total interviews, and he has been integral throughout the entire offseason with the coaching selection. He has also sat in free agency meetings with the scouting staff. So he's been in the office every single day doing his job, continuing as the interim general manager. Pretty vital that he's doing that and that Mark Davis trusts him, even with not being the permanent GM, to get all of that stuff done. Insiders of the NFL, who don't want to be named, but according to the Athletica, there's a report out there that there is a split in the hiring camp, which, goes all the way from the president of operations all the way down, including Mark Davis, obviously, with the final decision. But there is a split between them. Now, they've done multiple interviews for general manager over this offseason so far. But the 2 that really matter, the 2 that are actually in running for this full-time position, is a guy named Champ Kelly, who we all know and we all love as Raiders, or we should, because he did a really good job as interim. And he's deserving in his own right. He's got a long history in doing this stuff. So I think he's definitely deserving, and if we don't hire him, somebody else is probably going to hire him, either this year or maybe next year. But there's another guy in the mix, and his name is Ed Dodds. Ed Dodds is basically the co-general manager, assistant manager, whatever they're calling him over there with the Indianapolis Colts. And Ed Dods has a really good resume as well. He's supposed to be really good with scouting talent. He's good at getting deals done. He has a long history in the NFL doing his job, good track record. Everybody really likes the guy. He's pretty highly sought after, including the Chargers are trying to possibly hire him as well. So now the camp is split within the hiring division. Is it going to be Dodds? Is it going to be Kelly? Well, there's an interesting theory that I have. The Raider organization, particularly with Mark Davis, I think Mark Davis really, really likes Champ Kelly. But he also is intrigued by Ed Dodds because Ed Dodds has a really good resume. Now, we went with kind of the unknown with the coach without ever having any head coaching experience and not a super long resume in coaching in the NFL, only 2 years as an assistant being a linebackers coach. So now I think Mark Davis has a little bit of pressure on him. Look, if you're going to hire, an untested, really untested head coach who everybody loves and we're all ecstatic about and we're all looking for great things in the future, but we don't know yet. Maybe we should hire somebody with a little bit bigger of a resume, a little bit better of a known resume in the general manager, and that's Ed Dodds. Well, here's what I think. I think Mark Davis is just split. I think Mark Davis wants both guys in his building. I think he wants to retain Champ Kelly because he has a really good relationship with him, trusts his decision makings. But at the same time, I think Mark Davis wants the bigger name, and the bigger name in the GM community right now is Ed Dodds. So I think he's trying to figure out a way to negotiate a system where you can keep Champ Kelly and you can get Ed Dodds. Now, the question is going to be, how do you do that? Obviously, Ed Dodds isn't going to come from the Colts just to be an assistant to Champ Kelly. He's deserving of being the boss, being the general manager. Same time, so is Champ Kelly. And Champ Kelly is probably going to get a position if it's not with the Raiders. Here's the question, though. It's pretty much guaranteed that Ed Dodds is going to be a general manager somewhere. Most likely for the Chargers if we don't hire him. We hire Ed Dodds as the general manager and you make Champ Kelly head of player organization or whatever title that they have that is separate from the general manager, but like takes care of contracts, takes care of this, takes care of that. And then you let Ed Dodds do like the scouting and getting that talent pool in free agency and the scouting position. Some kind of way where they're not sharing power. They have two different specified goals that are and responsibilities and duties that they have to do. So they're separate. They don't work with each other or for each other, or not, one's not the boss of the other. That's the only way that you're going to get both guys in this building. They have to be the boss of their own division because both of them are deserving of that responsibility. They've earned it, and I think that's the only way it would work. Here's the problem with that. That's a hard selling point to two guys who are very deserving of being a general manager, because one's going to have to swallow his pride by not being named the general manager in order to do this. I think most likely the person that would do that is going to be Champ Kelly. I think Champ Kelly wants to stay with the organization and he would be willing to do a team-friendly deal, kind of like a player would have to do. I don't think Ed Dodds would do that. Ed Dodds, if he's not hired general manager by the Raiders, he's going to go to the Chargers or another team position. But again, it's looking most likely like it's going to be the Chargers. So that's it. That's my theory, guys. I think that Mark Davis is trying to get 2 for 1. He's trying to get the best of both worlds. Is it going to work out? Well, I don't really know, but I know that they need to make a decision soon because Champ Kelly has interviewed for other teams. Ed Dodds has interviewed for other teams. Interesting tidbit, Ed Dodds' agent is the same agent of Antonio Pierce, and he's been seen in the building again after Pierce was already hired. So was he representing Pierce or was he representing Dodds? We will know, and as soon as I know, I will let all of you guys know. Please drop a comment down below. Do you think my jokes are funny? If not, let me know. If so, give me a good thumbs up. And, just drop a comment down there and just win, baby. Run!